7 years ago, I lost 80 pounds. And since that time, I have maintained my weight loss within a 10-pound range. In this video, I'm going to share with you the best weight loss advice I can give you. So before we get into the video, first of all, you should know I'm not a doctor. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a nutritionist or a dietitian. I am just someone who has been there and done that on the weight loss journey. I struggled with my weight from the time I was a kid until I was about 30 years old. And the thing is, when I look back on it, I realized I never actually had a conversation with a person who successfully lost weight. Most of the weight loss advice I heard was on, infomercials or TV commercials or in weight loss books that I read. And that advice never really helped me to lose weight and keep it off. This is the stuff that I wish somebody would have told me before I got started on my weight loss journey. And this is going to be in no particular order. I was going to try to, list these all out, like this is the most important thing and go down the list. But everything we're going to talk about, I feel like is important. I feel like if you miss, one particular part, then you're not going to have the full picture. First, let's talk about playing the long game. So the thing is with weight loss and with weight gain, it's a long-term thing. It's not like one day you just woke up and you were obese. The process of gaining weight, it takes time. There's a lot involved in it. And in the same way, losing weight, there's a lot involved with it and it takes time. Instead of thinking of band-aid solutions and short-term things and fast weight loss, a much better alternative is to really look at your life and be honest with yourself and ask yourself, what can I get myself to do? What am I willing to do? And then do just that stuff. Think about, will you be willing to do this 5 years from now, 10 years from now? And if you're not, then don't do it. Figure out something else to do. Figure out a different strategy. This is something I really struggled at. I used to always be in a hurry. I wanted to lose 5 pounds a week and I felt like a failure if I didn't. But over the course of time, I've seen the slower you go with these things and the more you think about the big picture, the long term, the easier things get and the more enjoyable they get, which means you have staying power. You also need to figure out why you gained weight in the first place. And quite likely, the answer is not because I love to eat. I mean, I love to eat. And of course, if you enjoy eating, that's going to be one contributing factor. But plenty of people love to eat and they're not obese. So the root issue may be something really mild. It might just be a simple bad habit. You got into the habit of like sitting down with a lot of high calorie foods in front of the television and you just put on a little bit of weight. Or for some people, the issues go a little bit deeper. Maybe you have had a lifelong thing with food and eating emotionally. That was my case. I didn't realize it at the time. But when I look back, I realized so many times I have been eating because I'm sad or because I'm happy or because I'm bored. I was using food to soothe myself emotionally. Some people have been through very traumatic things and the way they deal with that is to eat. So depending on where you fall on that spectrum, there may be a whole host of things that you need to do to attend to that. And while I never went to therapy, I would highly recommend that if you find yourself in that place where you realize you really need to talk to a professional, then do so. Find somebody who aligns with your values and then go talk to them. Get the help you need. The next thing would be move your body. And this doesn't need to be some sort of you go run a marathon kind of thing. I just mean get up and move around. Go for a walk. We don't need to go running all the time or you don't have to lift heavy weights, but just get your body up and moving around. It helps. It helps with your mental health. It helps you just be more positive in general. It helps lower your anxiety levels also if you deal with that. Now, here is the thing about exercise. If you do get more active, likely what's going to happen is you're probably going to feel a little hungrier, which means it's actually going to make it harder to eat less food by a little bit. And if you're working out really hard, you may feel entitled to eat more calories than what you actually did burn while you were working out. So these things can actually make it harder to lose weight. But even taking all of that into account, I still say move your body somehow, because the benefits, those mental benefits, the positive attitude you're going to get from it is just going to be greater than the possible downsides from it. I can't tell you how many different times on the weight loss journey I was feeling so frustrated, ready to throw in the towel, and then I just went for a walk. And then by the end of the walk, I was back on track. Now let's talk about how to actually lose the weight. What's the best method? It's whatever you can stick with, whatever plan out there. And there are a bazillion plans and they all work, provided you can stick with them. So for me, I love intermittent fasting. I love eating 1 meal a day. It works for me. It's my jam. But it's not for everybody. You may be totally different. There are people out there who love eating, 6 small meals a day. There are vegans out there who love what they do. There are carnivores who are convinced that that is the best way to eat. There are keto people. There are seco people. It all works. You don't have to worry about picking the right thing because it all works. The really important thing is, what can you stick with? What plan, when you look at it, do you think, hey, yeah, I could do that plan? That's the one you should do. There's no plan that is perfect, by the way. They all take some level of effort. And if you don't know which one's going to work for you, just start trying. Do a plan for a while, see how you feel, be honest with yourself. And if you find that it doesn't really work for you, it's okay to move on. And although there are all these different plans, at the end of the day, they all work in exactly the same way. In order to lose weight, you just have to get yourself into a caloric deficit, meaning you have to eat fewer calories than your body is burning every day. If you do that, your body will burn fat and you'll lose weight. Document your process. Now, when I say document your process, I do not mean start a social media account and start talking about your weight loss journey. I think that's actually probably not a good idea for most people. It certainly would have been a terrible idea for me. I kept my weight loss journey completely private, and I kept my maintenance journey for the first year private, and it was only then that I uploaded my first YouTube video. But I did document my process. I took progress photos of myself, even when I wasn't making any progress. I journaled very sporadically at first, but over time that became more and more important to me. And I can't tell you how many times having a journal to look back on has been super helpful. I've been keeping track of my weight in my weight tracking spreadsheet for over 10 years now, and I'm so glad I did. It has helped me so many times, both on the weight loss journey, but also during maintenance, just to remind myself of like, oh yeah, first of all, here's how far you've come, which is very important. But also, just reminding myself, yeah, you've gone through this before, you can see the line moving down over time. The thing about tracking is it helps you to see progress, and that is so important for motivation. If you feel like you're not making progress, it's going to be really easy to quit. And the way to see progress is to have some sort of physical evidence that you can show yourself. Because if you just try to rely mentally day to day on the weight loss journey on like how you're feeling, you're probably going to feel frustrated most days. Or at least that's how I usually felt. Understand water weight fluctuations really thoroughly, especially if you're a woman. Quite likely you're going to find, as you start tracking your weight, that your weight goes up and down. It's like a heartbeat. And if you are only focused on the up and the down and the up and the down, it's going to be hard to figure out, like, am I actually losing? Did I just gain 3 pounds overnight? Did I really overeat yesterday? It can be very confusing and very frustrating. But if you just track your weight, and I find averaging weight to be very helpful. I keep track of my 7-day average and I watch how that moves over about 6 weeks of time. That has been so helpful because weight can fluctuate by a lot. Like, I've had my weight fluctuate by 5.6 pounds overnight before. And if you're not aware that that's even possible, it can really throw you for a loop. But if you can just know that, hey, water weight fluctuates, that's a thing, and you just need to watch how you're trending over time, it's going to save you a lot of grief. Weight loss is really a mental game. Yes, there is this physical game that you're playing, right? You are trying to lose weight, and that is seen on the scale. And a lot of people make the mistake of just focusing on the number. The thing about the number is, yes, it is helpful to have a goal in mind, like have a goal number. But what's more important, in my opinion, is to figure out what you're really striving for and why you want that. Chase that instead. For me, I just wanted to feel comfortable in my own body again. And so while I had a number in mind, what was more important to me was I wanted to reach that place where I felt comfortable. But mindset is super important because look, if you have your mindset in the wrong place, you can be losing weight and still end up giving up on the weight loss journey. I used to be in a bad mindset where I thought like a pound a week, losing a pound a week, that was failure. In hindsight, that seems ridiculous, but that is where my mindset was at one point. Winning the mental game of weight loss is really about learning how to be your own encourager, your own accountability partner, and really focusing on if something goes wrong, and things are going to go wrong, just having this attitude of you can figure it out and you can get past this. This is just something that's going to make you stronger. You're going to learn from it. It's going to make you better. If you do that, you're going to win. But if you look at any obstacle that comes in your way as like a sign that you're just not cut out for it, you're probably going to lose. And the last thing I would say is remember that life goes in cycles. Sometimes things are going to be good in your life and the weight loss journey is going to be a lot easier. And then other times things may get really tough. And I've experienced this. When things are harder in my life, the weight loss journey or the maintenance journey is just harder. Plateaus are part of the journey. Most everybody, at least at one point in their weight loss, hits a plateau. And it may go on for months. And that's going to be a test of your character, of your willingness to stick to a thing. But if you just know that there are just kind of these cycles, sometimes you're going to plateau, sometimes you're going to be losing weight and it's going to feel easy. Other times you may find you're gaining some. And in all of those times, and I've experienced all those things, if you just have the attitude of, okay, this is just part of it, I just have to figure this out, you're going to be fine. The thing I'd like to leave you with is you can do this. And you're worth the effort. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.